So I was just thinking. No, I wasn't just thinking. I was seeing. I saw a brand new Jeep Grand Wagoneer going 85 miles per hour on the freeway, cutting, weaving, doing this kind of fast thing. Maybe think it was cool. Maybe thinking this vehicle was awesome. Smacked a guardrail. Not super hard, but scraped the crap out of the side of his vehicle. He got out and was super disappointed, calling somebody livid. And I questioned it. I wasn't questioning the driving per se, but I was questioning why in this big vehicle? What's the point? You have this nice big vehicle to haul around your kids in. It's brand new. Why would you risk destroying the vehicle or the kids that are inside? To me, it made no sense. And taking the kids out of the picture, but just thinking about the car, it made me think about material things and the respect that we have for them. And I don't think we have a lot of respect for the material things that we have in our lives. Now, most of this video is going to be about why I think a lot of these material things don't really matter, because I think a lot don't. We just overconsume, and these things we just take granted for. But I don't understand why we do take granted for them. Everything we have comes from this earth, and we should respect this earth, and a lot of people do. But yet they don't respect the things that it creates, the things that we get it from, the materials that comes from it. It's weird, and I think it's wrong. I think it's very wrong. So I'm going to go over some material things that I think don't matter, and things that do matter, or just the whole and how we can respect them more. So first, why do some materialistic things not matter? So I put this down into two categories, and I wrote them down in my journal today. So one is short-lived joy, and they don't provide a lasting fulfillment. It's kind of the same thing. But to me, is that a lot of people buy these things for some short-term enjoyment because they like it. It's brand new to them. It's awesome. They could have all these new amenities. Makes them feel good. But it's not the underlying thing of why they're buying it. Maybe it's because they want to show off to somebody else. Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe it's because it's the right thing to do, or they think it's the right thing to do, that we should always buy something new to keep up to date, to keep up with the Joneses, or because everybody else does it. Now, these things aren't what really give us passion. There are material things that give us joy, that give us excitement, they give us these things that are happiness. They give us happiness, but it's not the underlying thing that provides happiness, fulfillment, or passion on a long-term thing. That's more of a connection or community with the people that you're around. But we're not going to get into that. We're going to stick with the material things. Now, the other thing that I think that defines things not mattering, or materialistic things that don't matter, is, and of course, another thing I wrote down in my journal. Oh, showing off to others. So I kind of wrote this down. I already said this kind of already, but a lot of people buy things because they want to keep up with the Joneses. Other people have them. They believe that they'll have a better perception from other people towards them because somebody else has that same thing, or that they can buy that thing to show off that they have some sort of success or greatness, which I think is wrong. You should be buying something to show off that, I have the ability to buy expensive things. Not that you have the money, but you have the ability to, because that's a whole different tunnel that we can go down. But it's weird. There's no respect for the material thing. You're just buying it because of some other motive. It's not just for you. Maybe it is some sort of enjoyment that is for you, but it's based off of something else. Now, I don't know what it is. Maybe you know. Leave a comment below to see what that actual thing is, but I think there's a variety of things that are underlying this, but I'm not going to go into that. So I'm going to go into things, or some material things, that I think don't matter. And one is sticking with the vehicles. A brand new vehicle to me is not worthwhile. It's not worthwhile your time for maintenance or the cost to keep up with things, because new vehicles have newer costs that are usually higher because there's parts that are maintained or used for that vehicle only. I've only bought used. I took the time and effort to get a professional to look at my vehicles. I spent $1,600 on a Toyota Echo. She treated me just fine. Second, designer clothing. I'm sorry, but you don't need it. Designer accessories? You don't need it. And designer jewelry. I'm sorry, you just don't need it. Yes, there's things that you have the ability to afford according to your tax bracket. Maybe there's some accessory or designer items that make you feel good, and you should splurge on them every once in a while. I think that's okay. I think that's okay with the means that you have. But just because you have the ability doesn't mean that you have the money or the currency to buy it. Goes back to showing off to others. I believe a lot of people buy fashionable things or designer clothing, not only just because for them, but for other people. Maybe it is for them. Maybe there's a little portion of that in there for them. But overall, a lot of it's for others, and because they get the short-term joy for that thing. I don't know. It's weird to me. I'm going to say that a lot today. 2 is going out to eat, not too much material, but just too much money, and I believe that you should be buying stuff from the grocery store, making it yourself. Time and effort again. You got to put into it to get used to a routine, or used to it, or just kind of care for food more, understand where it comes from. Latest electronics. These are all things that I've written down in my journal. So the latest electronics, you don't need a brand new phone every year. This is shot on an iPhone 13, not a Pro, not a Plus, just a regular, and works just fine for the needs that I have because I only send text, videos every once in a while, emails, and other things. You don't need to stay up to date. It's too much money and kind of worthless. Now coming off of the electronics, it's going to be cheap accessories, things that don't really matter. Like, for example, kitchen appliances for one use only. If it has one use only, sometimes it could be like step back away from that. You don't really need it. Or it could be other things that have like 800 different uses, but it's made of plastic, it's cheap. Like an avocado slicer, just get a knife or a fork or a spoon and you just do the items from that. You don't need to put all this time and effort into this one thing that is not really that good. It's not really that meaningful. It's just an avocado slicer. This one I'm getting a lot of flack from. But toys. This could be toys for kids, expensive stuff that they buy brand new. It could be clothing as well, things that they're going to grow out of, things that they're not going to like as much. But it also goes for adults. This could be buying a brand new Ranger that Polaris makes, or these huge items that kind of have no meaning. Like, you don't need to buy them. Just because other people have them doesn't mean that you're supposed to have them. And to me, it makes no sense. I find the most enjoyment, the most fulfillment and passion when I'm with somebody, not because of the material things, just because of who they are. And there are things that you can buy, like a dirt bike, to go dirt biking with our friends, but I think we just overconsume all of these items. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to list any more because I think we all know things and people that just buy too much, that consume too much, that don't really matter. They just don't. But it all comes down, I'm going to go to one thing. And is that how much we feel lost, that we need to have these things to feel good about ourselves. We need to have this to be tied with that group. We need to have this to be excited about the upcoming thing or whatever it is. And I don't think we need it. I don't think we need all these things to find enjoyment. There's so many things that are natural. Mountains for hiking. Lakes to swim in. So many things to feel enjoyment from. And I think we just feel disconnected from that. Now, I'm not saying material things don't bring us joy, don't bring us passion, don't bring us fulfillment. And I don't know. I said I don't know a lot. It's because I don't really know what the issue is. I just think we consume too much. We put too much precedent. We put too much enjoyment, excitement, passion. I've said 100 times fulfillment on these material things because they give us something, this fix, this feeling. But I don't think it should be that way. I don't think it should. People don't even know where half their stuff comes from, where their phones come from, where their clothing comes from, even where their cars come from. Even something small, something large, whatever it is. Gotta take care for what we have. And even if it's not the most expensive or glorious thing, you should understand that it serves a purpose and a function for your life and your livelihood. And those vary for all different people. I'm not gonna yuck or yum, whatever that means, but I'm also not gonna say what you're doing is totally correct. With what you're buying, with what you're using it for, with the things you consume. Because it's something I'm passionate about, and overall, I think we just buy too much and consume too much, and we don't really think about where it is coming from or what's it doing to our earth. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Am I right? Leave a comment, send me a DM, even be angry at me. You can do whatever you want. This is your life. But just don't judge. I have a say, you have a say, and you both have a life to explore.